عندنا زعما حنا ما نتقلقوش الا صحابنا ماشي مسلمه.
ولبثوا في كهفهم 300 سنين وازدادوا 9 قل الله أعلم بما لبثوا له غيب السماوات والأرض أبصر به وأسمع. الله سبحانه وتعالى نزل لي أدراج المغربي ما كنتش كنعرفه، ما كانش كيعرفني، كنتلقاو سيمانه 7 ايام وحنا ديال المغرب وكيفاش أسرة في المغرب وقيمة ديال المرأة في المغرب ووليدات عندهم واحد الحق، واحد سهولة ديال تربية الأولاد في المغرب مثلا وفي البلدان ديال الاسلام. فكرت مع راسي حنا عندنا في اوكرانيا ما يمكنلاش نربي وليداتي ولا نولد شي واحد غيعطيني الامن وما يجريش عليا. راجل مثلا اليوم ولدي له غادي يقول لك سيري انت والطفل ديالك. لقيت بزاف ديال المسائل مزيانه في الزواج فهمتها وتقنعت. منين قال لي غدا نتزوج قلت غدا نتزوج واخا ما كنعرفوش، مازال ما كيعرفني. نيه وحده في سبيل الله ودرنا العقد. عائله ديالي ما سحقت اخبار وعائله ديالو ما عرفوش شيء، حتى واحد ما يفهمناش. داك الساعه عائله ديالو باغيين مغربيه طبعا، وعائله ديالي ملحدين ما خصهم شيء مسلم.
جبرت فيها شي مسائل ربما ما كنتش نجبرهم في بنتنا بصراحه، زعما كنقول لها من قلبي. والحمد لله الحمد لله زعما ما عندنا حتى شي مشكل، عايشين خير العيشات لا وليداتها ولا هي.
امين. 4 съела глоток воды, ты летишь вперед на 2 клетки. Добавляй. А вот у меня написано, на равнине ты едешь... О, ты догоняешь, едешь на 44. Давай ты кубик, где кубик?
My family, who are not Muslim at the moment, you know, inshallah, but they're not Muslim at the moment, and seeing, you know, when I go to Canada, I see friends of the family that are not Muslim, and how many difficulties they have, you know, the husband and the wife, and they have nowhere to go for guidance. You know, if they have a problem, where do you go? You know, sometimes the whole family is broken down and you can't ask your parents and you can't ask their parents and your grandparents, you know, they can't give you advice. And I think between me and my husband, we've always felt that that the religion has been a really good grounding point.
منين تزوجنا جيت لدارنا جراو عليا والدين في الحقيقه. جيت انا الوالده الخدمه دايره حجاب، قالت لي سيري انت المنظر ديالك بحال الشمكيره وما تبينيش حدايا حشومه. قلت بغيتي نمشي انا غادي نمشي، وانا مشيت وشهرين ما جيت ومرضوا بجوجهم بالقلب وتسيبوا ايوا ومنين تسيبوا مرضوا قال لي غير رجعي كيف ما كنتي، واخا بالحجاب واخا كيف ما كان ارجعي. نسخنهم Какое? Об этом мы будем подавать. خذ انا معكم، انا نسالكم масло замешиваем.
قلت لها إذا كنا نهتم بالدين فالدين يأمرك أن تصلحي علاقتك مع والديك، فلا بد أن تعودي للبيت والله سيفعل ما يشاء. ففعلا كان الأمر كذلك. عادت لنا إلى بيتها وتعرفت مع والدها وكان مع والدها يعني سنوات طوال من النقاش ومن الحوار خاصة في أمور الدين، حتى والحمد لله بعد سنوات تغير مفهومه تماما للإسلام وللمسلمين، حتى أصبح يقول لي صراحة الإسلام أحسن دين. أطال الله في عمره حتى يسر له المجيء إلى المغرب وتعرف مع الأسرة ومع الوالدة ومع الأهل إلى غير ذلك. وبعدما كان سيترك المغرب في المطار قال لي صراحة أصارحك اليوم أقول لك بعدما أتيت وتعرفت على الأسرة وتعرفت على المسلمين حقيقة فأنا مستعد أن أموت وأنا مرتاح، لأنني مطمئن على ابنتي أكثر ما كنت مطمئن عليها وهي معي.
there's something about my story that matches theirs. So my problem.
مالين بعد اعتناقها الإسلام لوحظ تغير في معاملتها خصوصا مع العائلة، مع أبويها وأخواتها، فأصبحت تسأل عنهم أكثر مما قبل، وأصبحت تهتم بأمرهم أكثر مما قبل، حيث رأوا أن تغيرات جيدة حصلت لابنتهم بعد إسلامها، مما حببهم وحبب إليهم الإسلام كذلك، وهم يحترمون الإسلام والمسلمين.
كاينة صاحبتي حتى هي سلمات، جات عندي جات المغرب وفهمات، قالت لي نيت فاهمك علاش انت مشيتي وخليتي داكشي كله، داك الغرب بالبروغري ديالها وبالخير ديالها، وجيتي هنا المغرب واخا تلقاي شي حاجه اللي هي ناقصه على الغرب، ولكن المسائل اللي مهمه الحياه هي احسن من الغرب. الأسرة ديالك والناس اللي عايشين معاك، والحمد لله داك التفاهم، داك النفس مرتاح، انتوما مرتاحين ماشي مشطونين بحالنا وخايفين على غد. اختي ملي جات عندي اخر مره سلمات، ما زال ما كتطبق الدين، يلا الشهاده لي الشهادات، ولكن فاهمه، شافت بان كتقول لي هذا الدين ديالكم احسن من كل شيء، وشو راجل كيف داير، ماشي بحال اللي كيقولوها لنا حنا والناس نقيين والناس كيرحبوا بيا وصحبه واخوه في الله، داكشي كله ما كانش الدين ديالنا. سلمات اختي مازال الوالده ما فخبرهاش، كنخاف نقول ليها واختي غيبداو عندها مشاكل.
People say that it's a challenge to be married to a Muslim and to an Arab man, but I don't know if I found that. I don't know if it's a level of maturity that I found in myself. Honestly, when I left Morocco, I had no intention of coming back other than as a tourist. I was really surprised, I mean, to end up marrying a Moroccan, and probably even more so that I should find myself back in Morocco several years later, living and really planning to stay probably for the rest of my life, inshallah. We took a chance by coming here. We didn't know what types of educational opportunities in terms of formal traditional schooling would be available. And when we came, we found that there was actually an American school in place in Marrakesh, and that opened up the possibility, you know, for me to work, but also for our children to receive a quality education.
I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is the
messenger
of Allah.
Coming from, you know, another culture into Islam and trying to learn Arabic when you're 25 is very difficult, you know, and I thought, you know, it's better for my kids to learn Arabic when they're young, you know, and to really learn Arabic, I think you have to come to an Arab country, because however many classes you take in England or however many people you visit, it's just not the same as being in a culture where everyone is speaking Arabic. And you hear the adhan every day, and people are going to the mosque. When it's Eid, you feel like it's Eid. When it's Ramadan, you feel like it's Ramadan. And we just thought, you know, we need to do this, you know, for our kids and for our family. We had 3 children within the first 4 years of marriage, very quickly. And we were living in Manchester at the time. And the oldest child was 4 years old. And we sat down, me and my husband, you know, and we were thinking, what are we going to do about school?
Right. All right, good. Wait till people move on. Good. Wait till excellent. Yogurt.
Activities.
Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tell me.
And the other major factor in coming back was my parents-in-law. My husband's parents are quite old. He was the youngest child, and his mum by that point had a couple of strokes, and she wasn't feeling very well. And they used to ring and say, we want to be near the grandchildren, you know, because Moroccans have this culture, they like to be near the children and near the grandchildren, and they said, please come, you know. So we thought about it a lot, and we decided that the time to move was really before the children started school.
الحمد لله في المغرب كنعيش بحال في داري وما بغيتش نرجع، واخا ما عرفت شنو يعطيوني ما عمرني نرجع تما. نعيش في الفقر في المغرب مثلا الحمد لله سهل اللهم لك الحمد شاف الفقر، ولكن كيف ما كنبقى في المغرب وما نرجعش في الغرب، حيت مسائل مهمة، الأسرة والزوج الصالح والوليدات والبحر والكل شيء، داكشي اللي في المغرب ما تلقايش في الغرب.
I think I would have rather stayed in my own culture if I hadn't converted to Islam. And I think becoming a Muslim and learning about Islam, and I used to sit with my friends, and all of us would talk, you know, we'd say, yeah, we're going to go to a Muslim country, we're going to go and study with the shiyukh, we're going to really take on Islam as a very important thing in our lives. And I think, especially for the first 2 years, it helped me a lot to be with the family and to have people here that my husband knew, and he would invite them, you know, their wives to come and talk to me and, you know, take me out and go to the beach or do things. So this was easier for me to learn it. And now I think, especially after I learned to speak some Moroccan, and that I can go out on my own and I take the kids out on my own and everything, I don't find it so much of a burden as I might have done if I hadn't learned Arabic so much, or if I hadn't made such an effort to integrate into the culture here and to get to know Moroccans.
I think integration into a different society or a different country is always going to be somewhat difficult. Alhamdulillah, I had the experience already of being here for a few years. I knew, of course, about the cuisine, about some of the history of the city where we live, of Marrakesh, and also of the country that we were coming to. But I certainly have faced a lot of challenges. You know, our living situation, we have our own place to live, which is lovely. We actually live next to my mother-in-law, which has worked out so well, because the kids can go right out the front door to their grandmother's house. I have a sister-in-law living above me with her husband and children. I have another brother-in-law living above us with his family. So a lot of people wonder how I can handle being so close to the family, but that's actually been one of the best things for us, because the kids have always had cousins to play with. And we've always had a place to go if we want to share a meal or have coffee in the afternoon. And it's given me a chance to see the Moroccan lifestyle up close in other people's homes, not just try to invent it for my own home.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه، نعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا، من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ولي الصالحين، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات ربي وسلامه عليه. أخواتي في الله، أحييكم بتحيات أهل الجنة، وتحية فيها السلام. لقيت عائلة كبيرة وكل شيء كيرحب بيا، واخا ما كيعرفونيش. عجبني داك العلاقة ديال لا فامي ديال العائلة، حيت هنا في أوكرانيا ما عندناش عائلة، هي جوج الناس، 3 أب أم والجوج وليدات. هنا في المغرب 40 و60 و10 ديال الخوت وكل شيء قريب، ونمشيو عند هذا ونزوروا مريض ونشوفوا. هاد المسائل عجبوني بزاف، ولقيت المغرب احسن اللي كنت كنتصور. دابا وليت مغربيه كيقولوا لي اصحاباتي، ولكن شي مسائل في الاول ما عجبونيش. مثلا واحد النهار عرضوا علينا وقالوا لنا اجيو واحد الصدقه، كانوا الناس لابسين مزيان والذهب ديالهم تقاشتهم والحواله مشويين والدجاج، وبقيت كنشوف كنقول لهم فينا هما المساكين اللي ياكلوا صدقه؟ قالوا لي لا، صدقه ماشي المساكين، هي سميه صدقه ولكن كتصدق على اغنياء. المهم هاد الصدقه اللي ما فهمتهاش. الوالده ديالي كنتمنى دابا ولات كتبدل الفكره، هي اللي قاصحه شويه في كلشي، ما كتبغيش حتى مين كنبغي نهضر معاها في الدين ما كتبغيش. هاد العام منين جات 16 عام عمرها حلات الباب، هاد العام حلات الباب، وليت كنناقش معاها شويه بشويه، ولات كتقول الحمد لله اذا حسيت بان كاينه شي حاجه فوق منا. ونطلب الله ما انت تهدي من احببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء. واحد
جوج 3 4
دالشي 5 5.
You can have the horse and a dog. And a cat.
No.
No, just a So I think, spending the time at home, 8 years, I put my mind to being at home, I put my mind to learning about Islam and having children and spending time with my husband. And I think it was important to make those bonds in the family. And after the kids, the youngest one was about 3 or 4, I felt, that I've made this bond at home, and I feel strong in myself and I feel strong in my religion. And, maybe it would be nice to go out and work and have a bit of recognition from outside that, that I was doing something to help, outside the family at this point.
Start working with them in September, or we're going to give them something over the summer? Well, so I think now, so we have a lot of the members of the students and everything. And also the classes you will be teaching next year. Okay.
That my husband has had to go back to England to work, and I'm staying in Morocco with the kids, and we decided as a couple that this was better for the children here in Morocco. We wanted them to learn Arabic, and they've learned the school here and they've got used to it, and we've decided to do that. I know that he went because he feels such a responsibility to help financially with the family that he just couldn't sit here in Morocco and let me work, Even if I could go and do extra hours and I could work in the school and he could help with the kids, maybe that's... In the West we do that now, the husband stays at home and the wife goes out to work, no problem. A lot of people see it as him running away from his responsibility. But I think because we have a really good understanding now, I know that his heart is with his family, and it will always be with his family. I think I've given up on knowing what to expect tomorrow, or the next hour or the next year or anything. I mean, whatever Allah gives us is, that's the way we're going to go, and you just have to go with it,
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Astaghfirullah.
What do you say? Astaghfirullah, and then what?
Astaghfirullah.
And then what?
Sabaraktana jalali wal ikram.
Oh, then what?
Subhanallah, subhanallah.
And then what?
What's up here?
I can't that says
certainly my husband and I aspire to educate our children in the right way. I always have concerns myself that I don't have the right answers. But in that case, I send the kids to their father.
سبوح سبوح قدوس قدوس رب الملائكة.
He's much better educated in the faith, having been brought up with the traditions and brought up, having heard stories and so forth from a very young age. And sometimes, I would say all of the time, that's very beneficial to the kids and to me as well.
فقبل زواجنا كما تعلمون كانت مالين معتنقة للديانة المسيحية. فقبل الزواج اتفقنا على بعض الشروط ليكون زواجنا زواج دائم. فمن بين الشروط التي ذكرناها هو تربية الأولاد. يجب أن يتربوا تربية إسلامية فقط. يعني أنه بعد الزواج المختلط بعض الأطراف يحبذون فكرة تبيين أو تبريز ديانتين أو 3 للأولاد وترك الاختيار للأولاد. فكنت صارما شيئا ما قبل الزواج. قلت لها بأنه إن تزوجنا إن شاء الله الأولاد يجب أن تكون عندهم تربية إسلامية فقط.
I mean, of course I want my children to learn how to be good Muslims, how to be good people, and I think that comes primarily from the home. But I think that every day in our house there are lessons that we need to be giving the kids about how to treat other people, about manners, about, you know, what to say, when to say it, what's appropriate behavior. And I think, I mean, that happens in every home, and we can only hope that, you know, the children follow our good examples. And we hope that we're able to give them good examples as well.
We have to give people money. If people don't have that much money, we have to give them a little bit of money.
Do you remember what that's called in Arabic?
Zakat.
Bravo, good job, Ahmed.
من النهار اللي درت انا حجاب كنت عارفه ان شاء الله الا سهل الله بناتي حتى ما يديروا حجاب. من صغرهم كنت كنولفهم، كنت عارفه رسول الله عليه الصلاه والسلام والسنه على الصلاه نولفوا وليداتنا من 7 سنين، وكيف درت بالي اذا الحاجه الثانيه اللي غيولفوها هي الحجاب، حاجه طبيعيه الا درتيهم من صغرهم. كنت كان مثلا من كيقربوا 10 سنين في رمضان كيلبسوه مره يحفظوا شويه القران، ندير لهم حفله مثلا يصليو مزيان شي سيمانه عاود ندير لهم حفيله وكاطو وكادو. المسيحيين عندهم النوال ديالهم، حنا لا، حنا شويه قران حفله، شويه ديال الصلاه حفله، شويه ديال الحجاب حفله، المهم الدنيا كلها حفلات وقت ما بغيتي بلا نوال.
لم أجبرها على أن تغير شيئا من معاملتها أو من شكليتها، كلبس الخمار لم يطرح كمشكل، رغم أنني أحبذ لباس الخمار لأنه لباس الإسلام، ولكن هي جديدة العهد بالإسلام، ومن السيرة النبوية لسيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نستنبط كذلك أنه يجب معاملة الرجال والنساء الجدد في الإسلام بطريقة ميسرة.
منين بانوا لي بداو يكبروا وكبر عقل ديالهم شويه، شرحت لهم بان داك الحجاب اللي دار ما خصوش يتحيد، اما انسان يدير يتقنع فيه اما ما يديرش، حيت ما الله سبحانه وتعالى ما قلناش نضحكوا ولا نتفلاو، امرنا الله نديروا بالقناعه للداخل، اذا غادي يكون داكشي صالح. النهار اللي قربوا يساليو مدرسه ابتدائيه ماما بغينا نديروا حجاب، ساعدتهم انا بداك الخياطه. كان بنات دابا كيبغيو داكشي زوين لامود والوان، كنقطع من وقتي شويه وكنخيط ليهم حويجه وكنشري معها الشال المناسب وشي تجين، المهم حجاب واخا التجين يقدر يكون زوين ويعجبهم. بالحق ملي كنمشي اوكرانيا كيضحكوا علينا كيقولوا شوفوا هاد المسلمين وليداتهم كيزيروهم كيديروهم حجاب زز منهم باقيين صغار مساكن، ولكن شنو مساكن؟ ما مساكن ولا بالعكس حنا اللي رابحين ماشي هما اللي رابحين.
The family situation here, with the extended family living with us, and my husband also has a sister who's deaf and dumb, she can't speak. It was quite difficult for me to have 4 small children and then to have 2 elderly parents-in-law and, you know, a handicapped sister. And my husband and I thought, you know, maybe it would be nice to have somebody to help with me, you know, to help with the family, to help, you know. I had this book in English about Islam and polygamy, you know, about these 2 women that had married the same guy. And actually they were cousins, and that they were very happy and that they did things together. They were like, you know, best friends, and they went shopping together and they helped each other in the house and they helped each other with the kids. And I remember thinking, you know, this is a nice idea, you know. I mean, your husband is not something that you can hold. It's not a possession, you know. Your husband is something that you share with. But if you have another wife, it doesn't mean that it's going to take away from what you have.
I think it's impossible for a man to treat women equally. I mean, and to have a second, a third, or a fourth wife, you have to be able to treat all of your wives equally, materially, emotionally, And I think it's impossible to do that. And I think most people recognize that. But what non-Muslims don't understand is that there are conditions to taking additional wives, and those conditions are very, very difficult to meet. And even the Moroccan government has put limitations on the number of wives or the conditions under which somebody could take an extra wife. So I think, there is some protection for women who might otherwise be put in the situation where, they have a husband who just wants to acquire wives. But I'd say that's very unusual, and it's not something that I've ever been concerned about, and not something that I think I'm going to confront in the future.
تعدد الزوجات مش هذا اي واحد يهز 4 عيالات هو مزوج بهم، لا. الا كانت امراه ما تولدش، ولا كانت المهم كاين بزاف ديال الامور علاش ممكن ياخذ انسان 4 زوجات.
عايشة كانت كنا أنا وياها صحاب وداك الشيء، وهي أول وحدة اللي تقريبا طلبت مني إني نكون الزوجة الثانية، كما كيقولوا بالدارجة ديالنا الشريكة ديالها. ملي شفتها هي متقبلة ومحتاجة واحد صديقة وأخت اللي تونسها هنايا في الغربة ديالها.
I think, to be honest, it was actually me that came up with the idea first of all, which might sound crazy. But I always said to my husband, if we're going to do it, I want to be involved. I don't want you to go and get another wife behind my back and not tell me about it. Because to me, that would be worse, than if I'm going to do it with you, we're going to do it together, and we're going to be stronger because of it.
العلاقة كما شفتي لا مع إيشا ولا مع الدراري، أنا دايرهم بحال وليداتي ولا بحال ولاد أختي، أولا دايرهم بحال عائلة. إني أنا معروفة عزازين لي الدراري الصغار، فما عنديش مشكل معهم. هما عاوتاني حنانين، هما كيخلوك واخا تكون قلبك قاسم منهم، هما كيخلوك إنك تنسجمي معهم وتحني عليهم وتتعاملي معهم أكثر من ولادك.
He didn't want to consider having just a worker or something, because this is not somebody who's really going to care about the family. We wanted to have somebody that's really interested in the family and really integrates into the family, and that he can also feel comfortable sitting down with and conversing with and, sharing with. And so we thought, okay, we're going to ask her. And we sat down here in this living room, and she came over one time and we said, we want to talk to you. And we said, what would you think of the idea? And, she was kind of taken aback at first. She said, oh my, I don't know, you have 4 little kids and there's nothing wrong with you, This is what keeps coming up. There's nothing wrong with you. You're still young, you're still, nice looking, you have kids, you don't have any problems. Why would your husband want to get another wife? And we said, look, as something for us, you're going to help us. You're going to help us in our deen. It is something that's halal in the religion. You're going to help my husband. He can say, well, I have 2 women at home. What on earth am I going to do? I'm not going to go looking at anybody outside, when I have 2 beautiful women at home. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.